Hi guys, I'll be going through this Python more data structure set dictionary. This won't really be a code along because I had actually did a video of the code along, but the audio was only what I got. The screen wasn't recording, so I decided to just explain the code to you. So this would be probably the first time we'll be doing that. But anyway, let's see. Let me refresh the page. I haven't done videos in a while, so I'll start doing it because we have so many pending tasks to meet up with. All right, so okay, this one talks about data structures using lambda, filter, reduce, and maps, and this video would help you to understand that better. This one talks about data structure generally. All right, so it talks about the list, the tuple, the set, the dictionary, and the likes, and also how to use lambda filter and all that. All right, so the first task we'll be doing today is we are to define a function that computes the square value of all integers of a matrix. Okay, so when we have matrix majorly, we always want to use the lambda function, the map. You're allowed to use the map, so we can use the map. Lambda is like a kind of function that helps you declare a function um, without building that function. You can kind of declare an inline function, kind of, and then you use it with map and the rest. Okay, so what I have already cd into the files, and we have all this which I had done video on before, which didn't record. It's a very long video and it's so painful that it didn't record. Anyway, write a function that computes the square value of all integers of a matrix. So we have that in we have the function definition, we have the matrix, a two-dimension. So we have this matrix, and then we want to compute the square value, that is each value will be squared, right? So we have one, this one, 2 will be raised to power 2, 3 will be raised to power 3, 4 will be raised to power 4, like that. And then it's quite very simple. So let me just open the code and see. So we have it in 0 square matrix. So I'll vi into my 0 square matrix, and then we'll look at the code together. As you can see, we have our shebang line telling it that we want to run it with Python 3. We have our what's it called, our function prototype, and then we say, okay, we have a new matrix because we want to be giving out a new matrix. We won't be giving out the old matrix again. So we created an empty list of new matrix. Okay, so now we iterate through everything in the matrix. So we iterate through each row of that matrix. Okay, so for row in matrix, so we want to append whatever is in this row. Remember that map itself function collects a list. So row is already a list, so map is collecting that list, right? So map is collecting it, and lambda makes us declare like a function, a mini function. Okay, so map will collect that row, okay, and then lambda will say x. This is like the normal way to declare a function in lambda. So we'll say x, and which is each item of that list. What should happen? It should be multiplied by each other, like x times x. Okay, and then which list are we talking about? The row that is coming in, and then we'll pass it to it, and then each item of that row will then be multiplied by each other. And then at the end, when this loop is done and it has passed through all the rows of matrix, it then returns this new matrix. Okay, and then you'll be done. So far that's it, and let's list again. So we are done with the first task. So let's go to the second task. The second task says write a function that replaces all occurrence of an element by another in a new list. So we have a list, and then this is the list, it's going to search and replace. So the search is the element to replace in the list. Okay, so there's going to be an element, probably element 5, and then replace is the new element which will replace that element. You are not allowed to import any modules. So if you have my list 1 to this, and the new list search replace, which is the function you'll just be creating, you pass that list to it, and you said 2, replace it with 89, right? So it's going to look for 2. Remember there's 2 here, and then it replaces with 89. Look at it very well. It replaces all 2, not just only 1 2. It replaces it with 89, does it, right? Yes. So we print new list and print old list, and then we have this. So all 2 were replaced here. So this one will search for this one, every number there would be replaced with this. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So it's a quite simple task, and that should be one search replace. So we'll vi our one search replace, and then we'll say we'll create a new list, right? And then we'll pass all that is inside the old list to that new list. Okay, so a new list now holds it, because we don't want to hinder what my list is, because at the end of the day my list was reprinted and nothing was done to it. It wasn't altered. Okay, so we want to iterate through that new list, which is the content of the list. And then we said index, and this enumerate function make us get the index of a particular list. Okay, so we'll say for index and items, and then enumerate will help us get, we could just say for items in list, right? And then it will pick everything one more time, but we want to get each index of each item to track it, so we'll use this enumerate function, and then it will help us do that. So by so doing, if the item, which is the read number, let's say 5, is equals to this 5 that we are looking for, right? We want to replace it at that point, right? Then the index of that item will be known, right? So we'll just say new list, which is this list, at that index will equal to this number, and then it will replace it, and then at the end of the day we'll return the list. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, sorry, control. So the next task we'll be doing is unique addition. Write a function that adds all unique integers in a list. So we could pass that to a set, and then it will get us all the unique integers, and then we can add them together. But let's see, what are the unique guys here? 5 3 4 5 3 4, right? Or is he adding everything? Okay, it adds everything. 5 3 4 2 1, which is 15. So it will add everything, but when you pass it to set, naturally set would make it have only single one. So this 1 and 2 will be eliminated because they still are still here. So if we add these guys together, 5, and then this one is 5, and then this one is 5, that's 15. So that's what we'll just do. It's as simple as that. So 2 unique add, so vi. So what we do is we created a variable, and we pass it to set, and telling it that this guy can only hold a unique integer, right? So if this list exists, then we iterate items in this list, right? We don't need the enumerate function because we don't need to get the index. So we say my unique list, which is this guy, will add whatever is coming into it. We'll add it to it. We add items, each items, and then we'll sum everything together. So if you have questions, let me know. Okay, good. So the next one, we have a function that returns a set of common elements in two sets. So we have this guy, this is a set and this is another set. So we'll be using the set operator. So in these two, C and C is common, so it will return C. So there's we use the for common element of a set. So we use the, this z raised to power sign also three, what's it called, three sets or what, three common, yeah, and we use the and. So if it is not, so we just say it passes these two sets and we just say return sets. So this and operator or ampersand operator would be used to, it will return the common, what is common between both, and then the or will return what is not common, I guess. So with that we'll get that. And then the next one is write a function the difference. So for the difference, now we have this is only C that will not be there, the rest are different. So for only difference, I think that should be the raised to power the difference number 4 for only difference, yeah, the kind of raised to power will show you the difference. Okay, so clear that, and then let's go to the next one, number of keys. So write a function that returns the number of keys of a dictionary. That's a very simple task, and what we'll do is we just say vi5 and keys, right, number keys. So that one will just be the length of the dictionary. The length of the dictionary is equivalent to the number of keys because the keys is paired with a value, right, and the number of keys is also the length of the dictionary. All right, so it's as simple as that. And then we'll go to the next one. You see, this is why I said the video I made initially was very long, because this task is very plenty. So write a function that prints a dictionary by order keys. So we can just use the dictionary.item function. So this one is let's see, 6 print sorted. So we want to print dictionary, is it sorted? Write a function that prints it by ordered keys. So we have to order the keys and then print them, which is vi 6 print sorted. So this one is quite simple. So we created keys and then we want to store keys in an array. Okay, so the first thing is say if the dictionary exists, and then we'll say A and B. For dictionary, one holds key and one holds value, and then we use this dot items for dictionary. Okay, so dot items telling that it is a dictionary, and this A would hold the keys and B would hold the value. So we then say keys dot append, that is, we want to be appending all the keys here. So A will now hold all the keys, so all the keys will be here. So we now want to sort it and print it. So what we just say is key dot sort, and then this one will just automatically sort it, or we could just build our own algorithm for it to sort it, and then after we've sorted it, then we'll now iterate through each keys. Okay, for items and keys, we want to iterate through everything in it, and then we have to print the key. And then once we put the key in a dictionary, like we said, items, right? So we want to print the keys and the value, right? So this place will be replaced with the key, and then to print out the value of a dictionary, you have to have a dictionary, right, and then the item name inside it, and then it's going to print the equivalent. Okay, and then this will sort it out for us. So the next one is write a function that replaces or adds key or value in a dictionary. it's going to replace it or add it, and this one is called 7 update dictionary. So we'll vi into 7 update. So that's quite simple. So what we do is we said we have the new key and then the value. So we can use the update function, dictionary.update, and then we'll pass in the key and then the value. So if it exists before, it will overwrite it. If it doesn't, it will add it to it, and then we'll return the dictionary. So write a function that deletes a key in a dictionary. The delete function works very well with this, and then you can just call the 8 simple delete. So let's see how it works. So say vi 8 simple delete. So delete function works. What we do is, this is what we call exception. We have videos on exception already, luckily, so you can watch that and you would understand. So we said if the dictionary exists, okay, because we don't want to, in part of our instructions, I think we're told that if it doesn't exist, we should just pass, right? If a key doesn't exist, it shouldn't change, right? So sorry. So what we then do is we say if a dictionary, try to delete the key that we are given. If this dictionary exists, try and delete this key, okay? But if we get like an error, okay, if we get a key error that, okay, there's no we are trying to delete a key that doesn't exist, okay, we should just pass it, okay, we should just pass and not do anything, and then we should return the dictionary. We have the next one, which says write a function that returns a new dictionary with all values multiplied by 2. We can use the lambda operator and then just multiply everything by 2, or we do it manually, okay? So we want to multiply all the value of it, right, that returns a new with all values multiplied by 2, okay? So we can just do it manually, or we could iterate through it, and then when we are printing it out, we just print items times 2, you get, okay? So that will be it, and then we just say 9 multiplied by 2. So vi 9 multiply by 2. So it's the same thing. We created a curly braces telling that we want to return a new dictionary, okay? If the dictionary exists, okay, for key and value we use these items, right? And we say new deco.update. Dictionary uses update to add new keys and new value, right? We used it previously, and then we say update, and then we put bracket and then curly braces, and we say the key equals to let's see, key, okay, which is this key, and then the value is value times 2. Key is key and value is value, and then we just multiply by 2. All right, so there are other ways in which we can do this, and then we return deco anyway. There are other ways, and if you still want to know, let me know in the comment section. I might just do a bonus coding for you. All right, so number 10, you write a function that returns a key with the biggest integer value. So we just run through the values of each guy. We could create a 0 integer 0, and then check if each value of the dictionary is larger than the 0, and then we'll replace it with that value till we are done, and then we get the key and then print it out and all that. So let's see which best way I use. 10 best score.py. So say vi 10 best score.py. So what I did is I called if the dictionary exists, right? So we say my list equals to, we're creating a new list, and it said dictionary keys, all dictionary keys should be inside my list, right? Okay, so we created score, which is what I was talking about, which would be 0. We created a leader, which is an empty string, right? So for I in my list has all the keys, right? So if a dictionary at index I, right, that's in dictionary keys, that's the key which will give us the value of that dictionary, is greater than 0. This is what I was talking about. If that value of the dictionary of first key is greater than 0, then the score would now be updated with that value. Okay, and then the leader we just created, the leader would then be that key. Okay, that key will be the leader. So it will continue until we have the highest leader, then we return the key. Okay, we return the key. Okay, so that's it. Multiply by using map. So we want to multiply using mapping, and then we have the prototype and all. So your file should be maximum of 3 lines. When they say maximum of 3 lines, I'm happy because I'm lazy to be writing multiple codes. But anyway, let's say 11 multiply list. So vi 11 multiply list. So what we did is, this is the prototype and we just want to return, and then we say it should return map, right? Map collects a function and a list. So what is the list? This list, right? And then we want to do what? For each guy in the list, we want to multiply it by this number. Okay, so each guy in the list will be multiplied by this, and then it will be returned. So if everything is multiplied by 0, for example, depending on what it was passed here, but if it's 0, it means everything will be 0, right? But depending on what was passed, and that's it. So write a function that returns a list with all values multiplied by a number without using any loop. So all the values are multiplied by this. Okay, so the map would help a lot in that sense. So lambda and map is something you should know very well. Okay, lambda is just a function creator. Map will collect a function and a list and use it to give you an output. Okay, this is very tedious. It's converting. You are not allowed to Google anything. So create a function that converts a Roman numeral to an integer. So we want to convert a Roman numeral. You should assume that the number will be between this number, so 1 to 4,000. So you can't just do for 1 to 5, or if you do for 1 to 10 million, it will be too much. Okay, so they've given us a range, and that's quite good. So this guy was like, okay, it must return an integer because a Roman numeral will not be an integer, it will be like in Roman, right? So if the Roman string is not a string or not, we should return 0. So this one will be probably one of the first things we need to first do, and we should just return 0 and not bother to continue, because Roman numeral will be strings like X, C, M, D, all those sorts are all strings. Okay, so if it's not, it should return 0, and we have that in 12 Roman to int.py. So I haven't exit this guy, so I'll say vi 12 Roman to int.py, and then we have our code this way. So what we did, or what I first did, was we created a dictionary. So a dictionary for each guy, saying that the key is I, and I is what in Roman 1, key is V is 5, X is what, 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, M is 1000. In case you don't know, now you know. So we created number which holds 0, and this guy will be used to sum up, because when we have like let's say X, or let's say L and X, it's going to be 50 plus 10. Okay, that's good. But there are some cases where we could just be adding it up, but there are some cases where we have like IV. No, VI will be 6, but IV is what is 4. So we need to make sure that, okay, when it is coming, when a certain lower guy like this is coming before the higher guy, we need to minus, and when it is in front, we need to add. So we need to put that into consideration. So if we first took care of that last part, which says that if this guy is not string or is none, we should return 0, and we return 0. So we use the enumerate to get the index of this guy and the character itself, right? So we use enumerate to get for the Roman string. Wait, note that we said this is Roman string, right? So we use enumerate to get maybe ix, right, to get where it is there. So we say the temporary, we created a new guy called temporary, which is equal to Roman, which is this guy, and index car. Okay, so if we have temporary, will now house all the, each time it will house the equivalent, okay, of the of this Roman string. Okay, so character, so Roman character, we have the key, temporary will hold the value. So if you have just v, okay, if you have just v here, okay, Roman v will be what, 5, so temporary will be 5. So we'll try this. So if 5, so this place is where we deal with the minus guy. So if 5 is less than Roman string, okay, index I plus 1, that is, if 5 is less than Roman string index I plus 1, that is, the next one, if temp, which is 1, if 1 is less than, let's say the next one is 5, then temp will be equals to 5 times minus 1, okay, which will give us 4, right, something like that. So we should minus it. So that's the purpose of this guy. So it gets, if 1 is less than 5, if 5 is less than 10, we understand, depending on this. So we use it to get the next one. But what if the next one there's nothing there? That's why we put it in a try and say except index error. That is, we are trying to access the index that doesn't exist. It should just pass, right? And then the number will now be equals to number, which is 0, plus temp, what the cumulative. Since this one is a for loop, temp will keep updating, and then we'll add it to temp. No, we are still inside the for loop, because so number will be the one updating whatever, adding up whatever temp is, okay, and at the end it should return number. So basically that's it. If you are confused in any way, let me know in the comment section right away, and I would reply you if I haven't forgotten how this is done, but I would try and just check it out and explain it. So that's that. So weighted average, define a function that return the weighted average of this. So weighted average is, we have the algorithm here that says that let's see, we have a list 1 2 2 1 3 4 2, a list of tuples, right? So we have 1 times 2 plus 2 times 1 plus 3 times 10 plus 4 times 2. So each of these guys were multiplied by each other, like each tuples, and then were added by each other, and then they were divided with 2 1 10 2 with their last index, okay, and then results will be the result of addition and subtraction of everything, and then you should print them in 2 significant figure, and that's it. Okay, they were printed out. Actually, we're not the one printing them out in that format. So basically that's what we want to do here. And what is the name of the file? It's called 100 weights average. Are we in the advanced already? That's good. So we'll vi 100 weight average, vi 100 weight average.py. So we have the prototype, And when you say if the length of my list is equals to 0, if you have, it should return 0. I think this part of what we were told. Return 0 if the list is empty. So if the length is 0, which means it is empty, it should return 0. So we have the sum total because we want to return a result. We have a divisor, which would be, so we have the sum, we have the divisor, which would use sum divided by division, right? So we have the sum separate, division separate. So what we do is we iterate through the content of the list, right? So sum total will be what? The addition of the first item and the second item, right? Multiply by each other, right? The addition will be sum total. And then division will be the addition of the last item, which that's why we use index -1, because we don't know, it might be 3 at a point, right? So we just want to get it back, the last one, and then do this, and then we return what? The sum total divided by division, and then that should give us the answer we need. All right, so basically that's that, and we move on to the next one. 14, 15, 16. Okay, 14, 15, 16. Where's 14? Okay, so we have our 14, and it says write a function that completes the square value of all integers of a matrix using map. Okay, you have to use map. You're not allowed to use, it should be just 3 lines. I love all these tasks like this. Matrix is a two-dimensional array. Return new matrix, size of same size as matrix. Each value should be square of the value of the input. So we're getting the square of each value. But this is a matrix, is a 2-dimension, right? Compute the square value of all integers of a matrix using map. Matrix is a 2-dimensional array. Okay, yes. So that's why it's in advance, because it's a 2-dimension. So we have 101 square. So let me clear the screen, and we'll VI 101 square matrix, and it's as simple as this. So we'll return. So what we do is, this is a list. We have two, like a nested map. So what we do is we have a map lambda, right? We have another map. So this map would collect a list, which is the matrix, right, and a function, right? So this one will compute itself first, and then this guy would use this function and this addition of all this function, and then this. So what this guy does is, this one would multiply everything together first, right, and then use it on each row, right? So a 2-dimension array, we have each row like this, right? So that one will use that. So that's what basically it's doing. But at this second instance, you see that it is not being multiplied again, because we only multiply it once. 1, and then 2 raised to power 2, and then 3 raised to power 3. 3 raised to power 3 times 3 rather, and then 4 times 4, right? Raised to power 2 everything. So we can say n times n, or n raised to power 2 here, and then we use this lambda row to just kind of use the content with the matrix. So majorly is this guy that is working. So this one is just recalling the function and then rearranging them. All right, so that's what it's doing. So we move to the next one. So write a function that deletes key with a specific value in a dictionary. So we'll look for a value, get the key, delete. It's as simple as that. So 102 complex delete.py. So vi 102 complex delete.py. It's as simple as that. So we say for key value in a dictionary, if the values, right, if values, I use values here because this one is value, key value. So if the value is equals to this value, so if let's say we have the value in the key so far is 5 and is equals to this, then we should key dot append whatever that key at that value is. So this one will hold everything. So for k in keys, since we have all the keys of what we want to delete, right, we should delete each item and then it will delete everything and then return a new dictionary, and then that will be all. It's as simple as that. It is in advance for nothing. All right, so let's go to the next last guy. So this is CPython, right, and PyBytes. So basically, when you are dealing with CPython, you want to work according to the output you are given. Okay, CPython has different kind of way of writing its codes, right? So you need to understand how it works before you can actually do them. It's kind of simple, but you just need to know what to use. Okay, so I'll just vi into vi103 python.c and then we'll go into it. So as you can see, we have two helper functions. We have one that prints the takes a py object. So these py objects are part of the things that are inbuilt with CPython, and you can see our header is python.h and then it comes in this python.h header. Okay, we have the py object and print python list and print python byte. Okay, so we have the one that prints python list and then the one that prints python byte. Just two functions. It's as simple as that. So this one wants to print a list of a python. So we have an integer, a constant, character. We have these are type of lists that are also, they are python object lists. So we have list and variable. Then we have size, which is a variable. So all these are inbuilt with CPython. So size equals to allocate equals to this. So all these are inbuilt. So all these printf functions are part of what we're given here. So they're part of the outputs we're given. So we just want to print python list info. All these are the beginning of what we have. Yeah, it should be somewhere around here. Python list info. Yeah, something like this. Byte info, Python list info. You get. So sorry. So we have all that, and then we have size of this, just printing basically all these stuffs, and then this one is being replaced by percent is replaced by size. This one alloc is like the space allocated for it, and then we have a for loop which ends it. We have a for loop that goes as the number of size, and then we have this type. These also are inbuilt with CPython. We print the element, I and type will be replaced, and if the string compare, we want to compare between two string. So if it returns 0, actually it means it is the same. So if the type is a byte, okay, it will return 0. So if it returns 0, it will print python byte and then the list op items. All these are input. So it's kind of like that, just when you go through it you would kind of understand. Okay, so that's if you're good with C. Anyway, so we have this one. I haven't really dived into CPython too much, well, but basically this just all it's going. They use the outputs given and then use it to generate your results. Okay, so basically that's that, and then we have this one as well, which we created an unsigned character, one I and size, PyByte object and then this one takes a pointer to bytes, and takes this. All these ones are built in to CPython, and then we'll print this info first. We'll compare between this guy and bytes. If it is not 0, that is, it is not the same, we'll print error. Okay, if it is, and then if it is the same, then we'll then print these guys and these guys. And then if this guy is greater than 10, the size will be 10, else it means it is not greater than 10. That's pi variable is not greater than 10. Then pi variable this plus 1 size print, we'll print this for I. This one will go in size times, and then it's going to print this guy if I is this, and then print new line, print this. So all this are based on the outputs we have, and then all you just need to understand is how this is being gotten, and how this is gotten, and how this is gotten. And once you get ahead of that, and also how this variables are being declared and what they are used for, once you get that, you look at the question, and then you can try it out yourself. Okay, so basically that's it. So if you want access to the code, you can check out my account. So the name of the account is Olaguru, and then you can check it out, and you'll see access to the code just like this. All right, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Yeah, so I forgot to go through the quiz, and here is the quiz, and it says, what do this line print for I in range 1 to 4? So this one will just print I, which will start from 1, 2, 3, and it won't print the last one 4. So the next one is for I in LO over 10, print I. It's going to print everything, right? It's going to print everything, and then straight LO button, because this is a list and it's want to iterate through each item of the list. So what do this line print? We have A equals to ID, so we want to print A index ID. A index ID is 89, so 89, because that's a dictionary anyway. So you want to print this, it's going to print everything. We want to A dot get project. What is project? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get this. So we have this A equals to A dot get friend. Okay, what is friend? This is friend. At the last guy gets name. The last guy is what? The name is what? Army. What does this line print? It says A equals A dot get what? Project. Project index 3. Project, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what does this line print? We have A equals to ID. It is A dot get age. Age is what? Age is nothing. Just looking for it. So get age. Where is age here? Age, and then we pass in 0 to it. So 0 we passed. So we have this one, 1, 2, 3, 4 still reprinted. And then we have this one, ID is 89. And then the last one, 0 to 2, 0, 1, 2. And that's all. See you in the next one.